Now, you all know I have a total drama hyperfixation, so I'm gonna do a total drama who would lose where tier list. So let's do Screaming. I'm gonna see teams. Screaming Gophers. Killer Bass. Yeah. 24 to 18th. 17th to 13th, and then, okay, one below. Then this would be merge right here. So this is basically Survivor if you haven't seen Total Drama. At a row above. 12 to 8th. To 3rd. Finale. Let's see the teams real quick. Did I say you'd fail, Annie? I feel like I gave you Gotta Catch 'em. I think I gave you Catch All of them. Silent would be a Killer Bass. I feel like Annie would be a Screaming Gopher. Bray would probably be a Screaming Gopher. Variant a Screaming Gopher. Screaming Gopher. Screaming Gopher. Killer Bass. I'm just going based on who. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like Nova would be a Killer Bass. Ash would probably be a Killer Bass. Nathan would be a Screaming Gopher. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cheerly would probably be a Screaming Gopher. I feel like Jake would be a Killer Bass. Amari, if you haven't seen Total Drama, you're gonna be very confused. I'm sorry. Amari, I feel like you'd be a Screaming Gopher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe. Delphi, I feel like you'd be a Killer Bass. Shorty, I feel like you'd be a Killer Bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cell, I feel like you'd be a Killer Bass. Maria, Killer Bass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're all at 9. Whimsy, I feel like you'd be a Killer Bass. Kai would be a Screaming Gopher. Amari, you'd be a Screaming Gopher. Blazer, you'd be a Killer Bass. Mast, I feel like you'd be a Screaming Gopher, and I'd be a Killer Bass. Alright. So. Alright, I feel like those are fair teams. I just went on vibes in my head on who would be on what team. Okay, so the first challenge, I don't know what challenges we do here. I do feel like in a challenge, what team would dominate? I feel like Screaming Gophers are way better players, so Screaming Gophers would win. And Killer Bass would go to the elimination ceremony. And out of these people, I'm so sorry. I know you're in the chat, but Jake, I feel like you'd be a first boot out of these 12. I'm really sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, Jake is now out. I'm so sorry. Challenge 2. I think the Killer Bass could win the second challenge. Next out of these people, I don't know who'd be booted second. I feel like Ryan would do something dumb. And he'd get out. I'm so sorry, Ryan. You're gone. Next, I feel like Killer Bass can win again. And out of these people, I feel like, okay, out of these people who know each other, I feel like these 3 have, maybe even these 4, maybe Annie would join them, have a big alliance. And I feel like the rest of these people think that's a threat. And out of these 4, I feel like they'd be most likely to target Variant. I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, I feel like Screaming Gophers could win here. And out of these people who would lose, I feel like, I'm sorry, Phoenix, but I feel like you'd be put a target on your back somehow. I don't know, I just think you would. And then I feel like Screaming Gophers would easily take this. Ash and Nova have an alliance. I probably have an alliance with Blazer, Shorty, probably, maybe even Delphi. I feel like Silent and Whimsy are on the outs. Same with Maria. Cell is on the outs as well. So I feel like one of these four would get voted. And I don't know who's. I feel like you're all likable people that these people would get along with. So that's really tough. Us. I think it comes down to us four would vote. And I feel like out of these four, who would I vote out of these four? I'm sorry, Whimsy, but I'd probably vote you on those four. I love you, but I'd probably vote you on those four. Yeah, probably. Alright. Killer Bass get another win. And you're right. Cell is probably the Herald, Miss Anna Queen. I feel like okay, we're at one more, then they can all move up. Screaming Gophers. These three are in an alliance, but I still feel like that's getting targeted. But I feel like these four have made an alliance, and these three are now on the outs. So between these three, I feel like you're going Amari. I'm really sorry. There's two Amaris on this team. This Amari's like, there can only be one Amari, so they boot this Amari. Yeah, Cell could probably win really easily. Do underrated channels next? Like, who's underrated? Maybe. I feel like that's, like, a harder tier list to do, so I might not. So you all can move up. 15th to 16th. Screaming Gophers have way better players right now, so... these two are in alliance. These four are in an alliance, and I feel like these people are gonna target them. I feel like some of these people would probably... Out of these four, I feel like... They know Shorty the least well, so I'm sorry, Shorty. You're known the least well out of the four of us and in the lines they're getting targeted. And then, okay. Next round. I'm surprised you think I'm able to make it in the show. Well, we'll see. You're kind of taking advantage of being less threatening. Screaming Gophers win. And, I feel like the three people that are getting targeted are Ash, Nova, and Silent at this elimination. I don't know who's going, though. I feel like us three would vote Nova because because Ash and Nova together is kind of a powerhouse duo, so I feel like Nova would go. And then Killer Bass would end their losing streak and win. Anna Queen versus Annie versus herself. Oh my god. Okay, at this elimination ceremony, these three are in an alliance, these three are in an alliance, and these three are in an alliance. So I feel like these three, even though they don't know each other, would form an alliance to target. And I do feel like these three are probably more of a threat than these three as player-wise. So these three, so either Mast, Bray, or Annie is going home here. And would they target... Mast is the biggest threat, and I feel like Annie, I'm sorry, is the weakest link out of these three. But would they target the weakest link or the biggest threat? So, I feel like right now they need the stronger players, so I'm really sorry, Annie. 17th, 16th, 15th. Killer Bass can win again. And I feel like one of the people in the outs... Oh, wait, wrong. Killer Bass can win. And one of the people in the outs are going. And I'm sorry, but out of these, I feel like surely you would get the least plot development and go home. So... 1, 2... One more person has to go, and then it's merge, and I feel like Screaming Gophers would win, and which out of these people, I'm sorry, Silent, I feel like you'd go here, I'm sorry. I just don't know if you could make merge, to be honest, in this. So now, these people have made it to the merge, and I feel like, okay, immunity, I don't know, Silent beat you by a little bit, by like 2 placements, but only because you lost the challenge that you went out first. Um, you'd like to question that? Fair. I mean, I feel like you guys' placements could be... These are kind of interchangeable placements, to be fair, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait, there's 13? I miscounted. Who would lose before merge? Mast, I'm sorry, but you're a big threat, so they probably, your team would probably see you as a threat and vote you off. I think just because at merge you would dominate, so they'd see you as a threat and they'd vote for you. I'm sorry. Now we're at merge, and... Okay, I'm surprised I made it this far, to be fair, of it merge. I feel like... I just think I'm good at not making enemies, so I wouldn't put a target on my back. I'm not, like, good at challenges or anything. I just think I wouldn't make enemies, so my social game would be good. Merge. Now, all 4 of the Umizoomies are still in and are probably making an alliance, you know, that group. And they're probably getting Blazera into. And I feel like these 5 are a threat, and one of them's getting voted. And I feel like Nathan's the biggest threat, so you're going home, Nathan. I'm sorry. Alright. Okay, 11th, feel like this alliance is getting targeted back to back. Out of these group, the next biggest threat is probably Kai. So Kai goes next, gets 11th. Next is probably a purge challenge, and I feel like I'd lose to most of these people, so I'm sorry to myself, but goodbye me. I feel like if it's a purge challenge, I have, like, no athletic ability or brain ability, so I just lose. Yeah. 10th place, though, isn't that bad, I feel like. 12th, 11th, 10th. Next, I think that Blazera easily would go with Ceremony right after me, so Blazera is gone. 9th for Blazera, though, not too bad. 8 people left. Who's making an alliance here? Leah, Jen, Maria, and Ash are definite alliance, and I feel like the rest of these people noticed that, and I feel like these 4 vote for... Out of these 4, I feel like they vote... Who's the biggest threat out of these 4? Probably Maria, I feel like might be the biggest threat out of those 4, so they vote Maria, and these 4 vote Cell for being a threat, and in a tiebreaker, I feel like Cell would beat Maria, so... 8th for Maria, sorry girly. Next vote, these people are outnumbered, but I feel like these 4 just had a temporary alliance. I feel like these 2 would make an alliance that would be permanent, Cell and Bray, but Delphi and Amari are probably not just gonna stay in that alliance forever. So I think in an elimination, who would get voted off? Feel like Amari would probably start some drama and get eliminated. Amari's a drama stirrer, so sorry, Amari. Next boot, these 3 are still in an alliance, and that's a threat, so these 3 are teaming up again and voting one of them. In which case, I feel like they vote Ash, and these 3 vote Cell again. In which, again, I feel like Cell could beat Ash at a tiebreaker. I'm sorry, Ash. You're gonzo. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Wait, these people are 7th and 6th. So we gotta move these people up. If Cell doesn't, I'm calling hacks and actually giving you my cookies. Alright, final 5. These two, I think, are probably trying to pull Delphi for a girls' alliance to target these two, and I feel like they might succeed, and I don't know. They've been targeting Cell this whole time. Oh, I feel like Cell's probably made himself a bigger threat than Bray. I know you all want Cell to win, but I feel like these three would probably vote Cell. I'm sorry, Cell. I just think Cell is too good for this game. Cell's just too skilled. These four don't want to go up against him. Hacks? Oh well. Okay then, chat. Um, these four, it's a three girl, one guy final four, so I don't think Bray's going next, realistically. Out of these three, I feel like these two are closer and would vote Delphi, I'm sorry. Leah and Jed, I think, are really close, so, yeah. Final three, it's probably a purge challenge, and out of these three, I'm sorry, Leah, I feel like you'd lose, but you came so close! Finale, Bray versus Jed, and honestly, in a final challenge, I feel like Bray could clap Jed really easily. I'm sorry, Jed. You made it so far, but yeah, I feel like you're done for. Let's download this tier list.